Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Brittany Coit.
And I'm Darius Miles.
With the recent murder of Blacksburg resident Nicole Lavelle, the Virginia Tech and Blacksburg community are looking for ways to move past this tragedy. However, not everyone agrees on the best way to do so. Newsfeed reporter Amanda Rutledge has more on this story.
The abduction and murder of 13-year-old Nicole Lavelle by two Virginia Tech students came as a shock to students and locals alike. Women's Space Plus, in collaboration with Virginia Tech's Help Save the Next Girl, planned and hosted a vigil in Lavelle's memory, inviting members of both the Virginia Tech and Blacksburg communities. Speakers for the vigil included Blacksburg Mayor Ron Wardham, a representative of Virginia Tech President Tim Sands, Blacksburg Chief of Police Anthony Wilson, and Lavelle's mother. The event finished with the chamber singers of Virginia Tech singing "Abide with Me." Support for the vigil came heavily from the Virginia Tech community, and both the Chief of Police and Lavelle's family approved the event. Not everyone was as excited about the hosting of the vigil. Many Blacksburg residents, like John Jensen, while they do support the vigil as a whole, feel that the location was especially inappropriate.
These two people, they lived on this campus. You know, they walked around here, they hung out there, you know, they met there, everything else. So it's kind of like you're basically inviting me into the backyard of somebody who killed somebody that I know.
The vigil was moved from its original campus location about 100 yards onto College Avenue in front of the Lyric Theater in hopes of appeasing the local community while maintaining its centrality to both Blacksburg residents and Virginia Tech students. Women's Space Plus Communications Director Tori Cohen hopes that the vigil will begin the healing process for the two communities as well as honoring Lavelle's memory.
I hope that it really does kind of start to mend community school relations and help everyone remember what a great girl Nicole was. I want this to kind of celebrate her life and help us really remember the good.
Attendees of the vigil include students and residents of all ages. A memory board was decorated with blue and pandas to remember two of Lavelle's favorite things. Reporting from Blacksburg, Virginia for the Newsfeed, I'm Amanda Rutledge.
Blacksburg Police Department is continuing their investigations into Lavelle's murder and thanks both communities for their support.
Virginia Tech is a massive research and land-grant university. With a total campus population of more than 32,000 students, Virginia Tech has advanced its diverse and cultural reputation since its existence beginning in 1872. Recent historic and tragic events have taken place across the campus and local community, and the outcomes have greatly affected those closest to the university. Virginia Tech and its surrounding community have experienced triumph and adversity recently in efforts to protect water sources and the citizens of Flint, Michigan. Tech professor Mark Edwards and his colleagues set out and held research trials on the tainted water supply that devastated the residents. This movement proved to increase awareness and focus attention to Tech's research capacity. In other recent events, tragedy struck the hearts of Tech students and staff, as well as the entire Blacksburg community. The disappearance and later death of a young Blacksburg girl led to the arrest and murder charge of two undergraduate Virginia Tech students. The incident sparked national media attention and caused scrutiny and distress among Blacksburg residents.
I don't think the bad outweighs the good by any means, but it does hinder our reputation globally. Most people focus on the bad. That's normal, but bad is everywhere. There will be tragedies every place you go, but what Tech has accomplished recently with Mark Edwards and his research team and all the research done thus far, it is not a normal occurrence. I don't think the tragedy we face with Nicole discredits Edwards or the university, but I do think it overshadows him. The Nicole murder won't be talked about forever, but hopefully Tech's credibility elsewhere will.
Tech's reputation and character spreads across all ends of the spectrum. The university is known infamously as being a higher institution of learning. However, with the continuance of tragedy and adversity striking the area, some think Tech has made a new name for itself. As for Tech students and Blacksburg residents, the consensus shows that nothing can stand in the way of Tech's glorified present reputation.
It's February and Black History Month is already underway. There are many opportunities for students to learn information about Black leaders that have made an impact in their communities. The Student Government Association and Black Student Alliance are celebrating all month long with a list of insightful events.
So we put together a really brief kind of like visual project on 29 different organizations, events, and feminists. And it's just kind of like their basic bio, their accomplishments, why they're important, and we put one up in Newman Library and there's one in the office.
There are many organizations that are working very hard. The NAACP also is sponsoring programs. Black Organizations Council is sponsoring programs. I'm very pleased with the work that has gone into producing the events for this month.
All the events are keeping the community engaged, including the African American Book Drive and the Perspective Gallery Path to Peace display, showcasing art from children from public, private, and homeschool students. For more information, go to thecalendar.bt.edu.
The 2016 Virginia Tech men's club lacrosse team is set to build off its national semifinals finish from last year. The Hokies recently received their second consecutive top 5 preseason ranking in the MCLA coaches poll. Newsfeed reporter Stephen Bernison caught up with the team.
The Hokies finished a nearly undefeated campaign in 2015 with a gut-wrenching 12-11 overtime loss to the University of Colorado Boulder Buffaloes in the national semifinals. The Hokies season did showcase a number of victories over nationally acclaimed programs, such as the Arizona State Sun Devils, the San Diego State Aztec Warriors, and Southeastern Conference rival Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And while anything but a men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association championship is a disappointment for the Hokies, their proven consistency at the national level is a comfort for returning players and coaches. The Hokies have dominated their Southeastern Lacrosse Conference for the past 3 years, and this recent success has attracted the attention of players from distant programs. Virginia Tech attackman Danny Riley is anticipating great things from his first season with the Hokies, having transferred in this year from Arcadia University in Glensdale, Pennsylvania.
I came here, knowing it's club. I played D3, and actually it's a lot more serious. It's more camaraderie.
2016 marks the beginning of a new coaching era for Virginia Tech men's lacrosse. Matt Schroeder has stepped down as head coach for the 2016 season, and former assistant coach Tim O'Brien has filled that position. O'Brien believes the Hokies' number 3 preseason national rank is a sign of good things to come for the Hokies.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Stephen Bernison.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, a sports marketing campaign that makes Virginia Tech feel a little bit more like home.
And an app that houses all school-related needs in one place. That story and more after this break.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. Now we're going to introduce you to 2 dogs, Theo and Ruby. Theo and Ruby are dogs that live in a campus residence hall. Theo and Ruby are much like other dogs in many ways, but their owners, John McIlvain and Melissa McLevin, agree that life for dogs in a residence hall, such as Pritchard Hall, is unconventional and sometimes challenging. A few challenging situations are when the fire alarm sounds during work hours or in the middle of the night, or by not having a yard to run free in. But McLevin says, by and large, the Pritchard community has really embraced the dogs.
I think hopefully the dogs bring some sort of a sense of animal therapy to our students, whether it's during finals or high stress test times. I know that they're both a stress relief for John and I. So I think they receive them really well.
Many residents volunteer to walk the dogs during the day, and it's not uncommon to see them make an appearance at residence hall events.
There are many benefits to hiking. It's great exercise, it's cheap, and it's a fun activity that you can enjoy for your entire life. The Appalachian Trail runs through Southwest Virginia from Georgia to Maine. Thousands of people hike the AT each year, but what many hikers do not realize is the countless hours of volunteer maintenance that keeps the trail clean, accessible, and free of trash. The majority of maintenance on the AT is performed by volunteers. Hikers and volunteers alike report downed trees, trash, and any other needs to the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. The ATC then distributes the jobs to local volunteer organizations. The Outdoor Club at Virginia Tech leads this effort here at Virginia Tech. The Outdoor Club leads expeditions of small groups who keeps an 18-mile section of trails across Southwest Virginia clean. The ATC promotes a no trace left behind philosophy to ensure all hikers will maintain the trail, even if volunteers are not able to keep up during busier seasons.
A new smartphone app wants to be the go-to resource for Virginia Tech students.
Newsfeed reporter Peyton Knoblauch joins us to tell us more. Peyton?
To see bus schedules and building maps, students have had to go through multiple separate channels. Brothers Brian and Danny Chambers want to change that with the all-inclusive iHokie app. iHokie brings together BT transit schedules, dining hall hours, parking information, building maps, and more, all in one place. Danny, a tech student, and Brian, a James Madison University student, developed iHokie over this past winter break with two similar apps for JMU and Penn State.
App is something that we want to be able to pull the campus together in a social way as well as like an informational way.
The Chambers brothers are keeping their plans for expansion under wraps for the time being. iHokie is now available for free in the App Store and on Google Play, with a major update slated for this weekend. Back to Brittany and Darius on the news desk.
With graduation quickly approaching, the bookstore at Virginia Tech and other vendors are offering graduation necessities to students. With these items, however, come high prices that some students do not wish to spend. There are less than 100 days until graduation, and students have started to prepare for May. Seniors receive flyers in the mail containing prices for various items, including caps and gowns, diploma frames, and announcements. These expenses start to add up depending on what students choose to buy. For those who have financial strains, these prices can add stress during their final semester. Due to concerns with prices, some students chose to purchase items like announcements from different companies, while others decide to not buy them at all. Current graduate student Lily Nealon wishes that prices could be lowered, especially graduation gowns.
Frustrating because, again, similar to undergrad, I'm going to wear that one time, and really the only difference is the front paneling and the fact that I'll have a hood. So it's a little frustrating that I have to spend yet another $100+ for something I'll wear for 4 hours of my life.
Commencement ceremonies take place from May 12th through May 14th. For more information on graduation items, visit www.bookstore.vt.edu.
Virginia Tech is a special place to many. Beginning this season, the marketing team in athletics has created a new slogan for the department. The campaign, known as This Is Home, has been received positively by most associated with the university. Newsview reporter Sam Jones has more.
Here on the campus of Virginia Tech, many students, staff, and alumni feel a certain something when they're around. It's a certain something that many people simply call home. If you've been around a Virginia Tech athletics event or on social media lately, you've seen the Hokie's new slogan, This Is Home. The campaign was created and tested at the 2015 football spring game and was accepted almost instantly amongst the fan base. Grant Duncan, Director of Marketing and Promotions in the athletics office, says it took a while, but once the department found the right slogan, it was an instant fit.
The campaign, This Is Home, it's all about that word home, and that's why it's big and bold and front and center on everything. It's a word that whether you're a student athlete, whether you're a coach, a fan, a community member, it's something that you can embrace and be a part of. So that was kind of the goal of the entire campaign, was to find something that would unify our fan base, getting us all going in the same direction.
Not only has the campaign been recepted, but it's also been promoted by more than just the marketing office. Sam Vickroy, a fifth-year student at Virginia Tech, is heavily involved with athletics and in the university in general. He says that the slogan gives that extra feel to students and alumni both and helps bring the community even closer together.
All of the students really kind of just take it in, and the alumni. And you see it, for example, game day is like the biggest example you could use. All on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's Let's Go Hokies, hashtag This Is Home, hashtag Blacksburg, all that kind of stuff. And it's really taken off like pretty explosively, I think.
Kind of maybe at the spring game is probably where it first started getting embraced by our fans, and they started using the hashtag and talking about being back home for the spring game, and that's kind of where it just took off and took it to another level, and we're able to use that slogan now, and our fans know what it means, and they just kind of own it now.
As the university continues to grow, so does the family environment. Through the This Is Home marketing campaign, Virginia Tech is keeping their family closer than ever.
The marketing department encourages everyone to join the conversation using the hashtag #ThisIsHome across all social media platforms.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrb@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Darius Miles.
And I'm Brittany Coy.